Amelia Earhart was an airplane pilot. She was born in Kansas. She was famous for first woman to cross the Atlantic Ocean by herself. In 1937, people thought that her radio battery was dying, but she disappeared.
Pocahontas was Indian. She was born in 1596. She was most famous for her bravery for going away from her home. She was born in 1596 and she died at the age of 21, and the date is 1617.
Pocahontas was known for the invading with the English. She was born in Morocco, Virginia. She was most famous for saving the life of John Smith. She died in 1617.
Harry Houdini, 1874 through 1926. Harry Houdini was looking for his parents, but he went on the wrong train. He was looking for the train that goes to Texas. Harry Houdini put on a magic show. Then Harry got married with a woman named Beth. Harry Houdini called himself an escape artist. Harry Houdini was famous for breaking out of chain. Harry Houdini was born 1874 and died on 1926.
1867-1912 Wilbur, and 1871-1948 Orville, who I had the right birth, the creators of the first plane. They accomplished it in 1903 in Kitty Hawk. Wilbur was born April 16, 1867, and Orville was born August 19, 1871, and Wilbur died May 30, 1912. Orville died January 30th, 1948. And since then, planes have been getting better.
Jane Goodall, 1934 to 2014. Jane Goodall was an explorer. She went to Tanzania, Africa. She was famous for helping to save both of the ships in the forest so she can help them to survive.
Marx was a freedom rider. In 1955, on an evening, she refused to give up her seat to a white man and went to jail. She is famous for being a civil rights activist. She was born in 1913 and died in 1977. Rosa Parks wanted to be free. Rosa Parks wanted all people to have freedom.
Steven Spielberg, 1946 to the age of 70. Steven Spielberg was a movie director. He made many movies. One of his movies was Jaws. He made it in California. They made a robot shark because they knew they could not train a real shark to do it. It was released in 1946.
Dana Bonnie, born 1734, died in 1828 in Missouri after war. Dana Bonnie was the frontier explorer. Dana Bonnie was famous for never getting lost in the woods. Dana Bonnie lived in the woods for 87 years, moving around in the woods. His first ever rifle. One time Dana Bonnie was gone for so long his wife and kids forgot his names. So then he lived in the woods for 87 years. Dana Bonnie established the first settlement in Kentucky. Daniel Bonnie got a rifle when he was 12 years old. Dana Bonnie never got lost in the woods in his whole entire life. Never, ever.
In 1815, Henry Brown was a slave. He has a friend who also thinks slavery is wrong, but he is a white person. And his friend helped him go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He sailed in a box, this side up with care. But when he got there, he woke up to a loud bang sound. He saw the light. They were proud. He knew his first birthday, March 30th, 1849. He was famous for being a good little man doing big stuff. He was born March 30th, 1848, died June 15th, 1897.
William Carlos Williams was a famous poet in 1984. He is registered a poet in Pennsylvania State. Williams was born March 4th, 1883. Rutherford N.J. John F. Kennedy was assassinated 7 months and about 40 days after Williams died at his birthplace in Rutherford N.J. 1963. Martin Luther King Jr. was a speaker. He was born January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. Martin went to Washington and gave his famous speech, I Have a Dream. One day he went to Memphis, Tennessee. At his hotel he was shot and killed. On the grave marked the words, I am free at last.
Pocahontas was known for the invading with the English. She was born in Morocco, Virginia. She was most famous for saving the life of John Smith. She died in 1617.
Morocco,
1893 to 1968. He was a very fast swimmer in 1917. Some of his trips was Waikiki, Australia, California, Pittsburgh. He got famous in 1917 for riding a bluebird. A bluebird is a very big wave that is over 2 miles long. He was born in 1896 to 1968. He was 77 years old.
King Tut was the king of ancient Egypt in 1336 BC in ancient Egypt. He was famous for being the king of ancient Egypt. Tut was born 1343 BC near the Nile River and died c. 1325 BC. Tut died so young at about 18 or 19 years old. He also got married at 10 years old.